Hi creative friends, this is Freya and thank you so much for being here. So now that I left this alone and I'm coming back to it, I am just in love with it. Like the dots of color add so much depth and dimension, and I honestly don't think I could get this richness of color if I had not put the dots. Like if I had just, just mix my colors normally. So I'm gonna bring it up closer just so you can see like how much life that has. There's so much variation in the colors, in the texture, in the values, and it's just really, I just love it. So I'm just gonna put this aside for just a minute here. And what I'm gonna do is I am going to work on this just briefly because I am going to add some collage to this. Now, before I start with this, I just wanted to show you this other spread over here. Now I showed this to you in, I think it was my last video, and it was just a very basic color map. Like I had, you could see a lot of the white of the paper, and I think I was just using 3 values. And even over here I'm not using as you can see, I'm really not using a lot of different values or colors. I'm really not. But I added more layers to it. I was working on it last night because I don't know, I'm obsessed with it. I love it. So I just wanted to show you though that, you know, a value map is super important for us to understand values, and it's also really helpful. So I could probably go in here now and add glazes of color. So glazes are just really thin washes, and I could, pretty much complete this in not a lot of time, because the values, the weight, the like the dimensions, the volume of the apples and the bowl, and just everything is already intact. So I love working like this. And I also wanted to point out, you guys, that I took a lot of still life classes many years ago, and one of the things is that your shadows do not have to be flat. Your shadows are not, just like anything, just like if you're painting a red sweater, there are a gazillion different colors and values and textures that go into that red sweater. Your shadows do not have to be one color. So I'm gonna bring this up closer here, and I'm gonna have you just look at the shadows. Now keep in mind, this is just my value map. So, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna work on this, but I'm gonna bring it up as close as I can. And if you look at those shadows, there's a lot of different colors in there. There are purples, and there are blues, and there are taupes, and there's just all a wide range of different colors and values. It, when you look at it, it reads as a shadow. It reads as, like maybe perhaps one color, but it is not one color at all. There are so many different variations of values and colors, hues, HUE, that go into it. I have seen some amazing shadows in, in museums, like when you look at a real life painting, whether it's in portraits or landscapes or still lifes or anything that you're doing, and they are full of life. So they do not have to be flat at all. Like they don't have to be like a flat black one color. And one of the things that you might be wondering, like, okay, well, how is a still life, doing a still life, going to translate into a portrait or a landscape or whatever? I guarantee you, you guys, everything that you learn in a still life is going to translate into anything else that you do. It is going to strengthen your knowledge and use of values. It's going to strengthen your visual language. And whatever lessons you learn, you are just, even maybe not even consciously, you're going to apply them to, say, a portrait. Because if I had to isolate parts of these apples and fabric and whatever, it's just, it's a color field. And absolutely, I can take these lessons and I can apply them to my portraiture now. And yeah, so working like this is, I love it. And actually, you know, when I started off, I was like, oh, I don't want to replicate the apples and the bowls. But honestly, you guys, when I think back to the classes that I've taken, um, it actually is very helpful to keep on painting the same things over and over again. So, you know, keep on painting like whatever it is. It doesn't have to be apples. Like, I would suggest like you don't try glass, or there are things like glass, brass, you know, they're reflective surfaces. They are a bit more difficult. They're quite a bit more difficult to paint. So I would start off with like fruit. Fruit is just, you know, it's just a good thing to paint. So apples, oranges, lemons, and maybe a bowl, or, you know, I don't know, pick something else. But um, and fabric is actually quite a difficult thing to paint as well. But if you keep on painting the same things over and over again, and it's really good to paint something that is a sphere, like so an apple, an orange, whatever, because this is the lessons that you learn here is, you know, the shape of a sphere is the same shape that a face is. So all the lessons you learn how to paint an apple, they're going to translate into, you know, when you're painting a face. Anyways, I'm going to move on to this over here. And so basically what I'm going to do here is I am going to add some collage to the apples, maybe the bowl, I don't know. And basically what I'm trying to do is to bring in some interest, but also I'm trying to kind of, you know, build up my lighter values. So, yeah, I'm just gonna, but you know, there's not many layers on here, but as you can see, it is starting to get some dimension. It's starting to get some weight to it. And try to look at like if you are going to be doing this, you guys, try to look at everything as a learning opportunity. That's what I do. So I don't, you know, I don't look at it like, oh, I messed up and this is an accident, and, you know, like try to look, I don't look at it through that lens. I look at it like, oh, okay, what can I learn from this? Because there are so many lessons that are just, you know, ripe for the picking. Like, and like I was mentioning, you know, the apple is, and an orange as well, a lemon, a lemon as well, but you know, a lemon is more like, it's still kind of easier, but I just think psychologically, you guys, like apples, like all of us were painting apples in like, you know, kindergarten. So an apple is just kind of in, you don't have to stress out about it. It's just an easier shape maybe than a lemon. So apples are just great to learn. And I'm just going to put some collage here. So I'm just like building up my texture. And actually what I want to do is I want to put some tea bags onto the fabric here. Tea bags are awesome, you guys, for especially for like fabric or hair. It just adds so much texture. And I think I'm going to just put a little bit there. I don't think I'm going to put it on the bowl. I'm just going to leave that alone. So I'm just going to kind of go like so. And I think I'm going to put a little bit of the tea bag here. Now this is still going to be the fabric. Another thing that's great for texture, you guys, and I haven't used it myself very much. I mean, I probably have experimented with it, but I've seen other people use it, is napkins, like just regular, not paper towels, but napkins. And what you do is you peel the paper apart so it gets really thin, and then you can, it can like maybe be similar to tea bags. I mean, you can use paper towels as well, but paper towels, as collage, I actually, I'm using it in my art journals. It has a thicker, kind of more body to it. It doesn't have this like super thin texture to it like the tea bags do. I'm just gonna put a little bit more here. And this is another great reason, you guys, to work on multiples at one time. So see, I can put the collage here, and then I can go and work on the other one with the color, and then I can let this dry. It's just so awesome. There's so many different reasons, not just the practical reason. And I started working this way a lot when my daughter was really young, and time was of the essence because, you know, my whole life revolved around my daughter. And you know, like, well, you guys, if you have kids, you understand. So when she was really young, I had to really manage my time very well because I continued painting even when she was, you know, younger. So I just put some collage there, and yeah, that's it. I'm just gonna move this off to the side here. And now I'm gonna work on this here and just kind of start bringing in some color that is not like not the dots. So it's kind of like a similar situation that I did with the portraits. When I laid down the dots, now I'm gonna start adding more just like color with my brush. So let me see here. And I want to build up my color feels like kind of like thin washes to start off with. I don't want to go in really heavy. I can have a heavy hand with color that I don't always like. I'm trying to temper it a little bit. So this is a glaze, and it's my cheap paint. And just gonna kind of... Now, the trick with glazes is you want the washes to be thin, and then you want them to dry naturally. You don't want them to like, you don't want them to kind of like bleed. Like, you want them to be true. You want the colors to remain true and not bleed into each other and cause like muddy colors. And let's see here. So now I'm gonna kind of decide like what color do I want the bowl to be. And actually, you guys, honestly, I really am liking the bowl the way it is. That's a great thing about like bowls or apples or let me see what else, like, well, all kinds of fruits, vegetables. They're so organic. Like you have so much leeway because nobody's gonna look at this bowl and go, oh, it's too small, it's too big, it's too whatever, because it could be a handmade bowl. Like I have handmade bowls where one part is different than the other side. You know, nobody's gonna pick up on that. But you know, when you're doing like, say, a face, you know, people are gonna pick up on like if your eyes are too far up, or you know, stuff like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start adding in different kind of reds here. And this is still a glaze. I'm gonna bring in like a brighter, like an orangey color. So the thing is, you guys, when I talked about the apples, I'm gonna use apples as an example. Let me see if I can find my book here. I showed you guys this book. Oh my God. Okay, I showed you guys this book. Well, I think when I was, I can't remember. I was doing a series on portraits, or I don't remember right now. But so when you look at this sweater, it reads as a red sweater. But when you look at it up close, like look at, I mean, there's, most of the sweater is not even really red. But if you take these same principles and apply it to the apple, for instance, you know, it's the same thing. There's so many different colors in here. And you can pretty much get away, if you get the values right, you can get away with all sorts of different colors in here. And the eye is still going to read it as an apple. It's not going to look at it and go, oh, that's not red. So I'm going to put some yellow in there. One of the things I'm gonna do, you guys, is I'm gonna start building up my shadows here. Like, so I want to add some blue, and this is a blue Stabilo here. So I'm just gonna start like, and remember that when you're making shadows, the motion you're going, whether it's a paintbrush, a pencil, whatever, it's like this, because shadows are flat. Shadows lay flat. And so this is a motion you want to make. These are the marks you want to make. And so I'm just kind of building up the shadows here. Okay. And so I'm just building things up, you guys. That's all I'm doing, is I'm just building things up. I'm building up my shadows, I'm building up my apples, I'm gonna build up my fabric, and okay, you guys, I'm gonna let this dry. And if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.